Hi there everybody and welcome. It's Jackie here from Stampingjack.com and it's Tuesday, which means that it is Facebook Live time. I apologise that we missed last week. I'm afraid it was just another one of those weeks and to be perfectly honest, I was just absolutely shattered. So I just needed to take a break and take a rest. So I hope you guys will forgive me for my absence last week, but I have some good projects. Well, I think they're good. I've got some cute projects ready for you for this evening. So let me just check my setup, make sure that I'm coming through okay. Just bear with me. Do let me know when you're here. Just leave me a comment. So I know if you're watching this on the replay, leave me a comment because I do go back and watch them again. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Excellent. Just open that out. I think we're rocking and rolling. Great. Oh gosh. Hi Sue, hi Lynn, hi Doreen. Welcome. You guys were right in the door there. Gosh, you said hi before I even had the comments were all there when I looked in. I thought for a second there that I'd opened the wrong one. So Doreen's just reminded me, absolutely, if you guys would share the video. This week I will be giving away, we've got these little random paper packs, so I've just got random designer series paper, just cut down to sort of card front size. You normally get about a dozen sheets in there, so everyone who shares the video will be put into a draw to receive, and the winner will receive a pack of those. So let's have a look. Hi Kat, welcome. Right. So as I said at the beginning, you may have missed it. I apologise for going AWOL last week, and thank you to those of you who checked in on me to make sure I was okay. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was a tough week last week. But you know what? It's nothing we can't handle. It's just one of those things, and I just needed to take some time for myself to just relax and chill. So I'm all refreshed. I managed to get some time at my craft table last week. So Susan, that bet that we had about how long my table would stay clean. It stayed clean for a lot longer than I'd anticipated. Managed a whole week because I just didn't get to my desk. But I've managed to make a lovely mess at the weekend, and I've got some cool projects for you tonight. So let's get cracking, shall we? So first of all, last time I was on, you guys asked me, I was asked to show you how to do a project decorating one of our new sort of mini pumpkin boxes. Okay, so I'm going to do just that to begin with. So stored all the bits inside. Okay. Now, I haven't done anything on the inside because I haven't got anything to put in it. But what I would probably do in here is put some tissue paper in coordinating colours and then put whatever it is I've decided to give away into that. Hi Diane, welcome. So what I've got is I've got a piece of, I'm going to close this over. So we've got a piece of Magenta Madness, which just will fit across the top, and then we've got a layer of black, and we've got a layer of white, and I'm also going to use the super cute zebras. Thanks Kat, a lot better this week. As I say, it's amazing how much a bit of sleep can put a positive spin on the world. So bit of self-care and I'm cool. So I got this idea from another demonstrator. I can't remember her name now. I will put it in the comments when I remember. But I'm going to show you how to create some zebra stripes for your cards. So what I've done is I've got some of these strips which I've got left over from trimming my card stock. Okay, so what I'm going to do, now you don't have to use a strip, you can just cut it off the edge of cut it off the edge of a piece, but I thought I'd use my strips. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, along the side, just very slightly, I just want to take the straightness off of it. So you can see I'm just taking the slightest little slivers off of this, okay, just so that it's not a straight line. You don't have any hard edges, okay. I'll do that again. So I've done a few of these already, so you don't have to sit there and watch me cut out a load of these strips, okay. Alrighty, there we go, okay. Let's just get rid of those scraps. And now I've got a number of others here, okay. So what I'm going to do is basically just arrange them. Now comes the hard part, it's trying to get them random. I'm going to arrange them on my card like so, okay, and then we'll get our glue, okay, and then we'll just pop it on the back. And what I am going to do is I'm going to put down my silicone mat at the back, so that if the glue overhangs, it's not going to stick to my surface. So let's just pop that down. Oh, there goes one of my cutting plates, which I had very not sensibly stored on a slopey surface. So you can see again, we're just going for a random look, not straight lines at all. Okay. Hi Anne, welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you with us. So I'm just making some zebra stripes. There we go. Okie dokie. Alrighty, give that a second. And then, yeah, this is why I put it on my silicone sheet, so that it wouldn't stick to the surface. And then we're just going to trim these off. Now you'll notice that I'm not using my nice scissors for this. I'm using my Lidl scissors, which cut very nicely, but I don't mind so much. These are the ones I use for sort of bigger projects or where they're likely to get sticky and stuff. So I keep my nice little snips for good, as they say. Hi Nina, welcome. All right, so there's our zebra stripes, very cute. And then I'm just going to stick that onto our black piece. And you could do exactly the same as this. You could make a matching card, or you could just use it as a card. This is a great way of using the, as I say, great background. Even if you didn't have the zebra stamp set, it's just a cool background anyway. Okay, so that's that bit. Okay, then I'm going to take our little zebra. I'm going to take this guy. Yep. And I'm just going to stamp him in black. Just grab my stays on. Okay, so let's just ink this guy up. There we are. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to do a bit of fussy cutting on this guy. Is the other reason I didn't use my nice scissors, because I'm going to need it now. Okay, so when I stamp with the stays on, I do like to hold it for a little bit longer, because the stays on is an alcohol based ink, so it just gives a better impression. Okay, and then we'll grab my little snips. Okay, and again, like we say when we do our fussy cutting, we move the paper rather than the the scissors, and it's just a lot easier, and we're just leaving a tiny little gap or white border around the edge. There's no need to cut it right up to the line. There we go. So it would be great if we had a die for these guys, but actually they're not that difficult to cut out, so it's not too bad. So, how have you guys been? How are you guys enjoying, well, I'm saying enjoying, but how's lockdown going for you guys? I see that a lot of the restrictions in the UK are about to start being lifted, which is great. Basically, our restrictions have all been lifted here on the Isle of Man, so all the pubs are open again and everybody's just kind of getting back to normal, so it's kind of nice. Obviously, you know, borders are still shut, so we don't know when they'll be open. But, you know, personally, I'd love to get home, but I think for the sake of the island here, they need to be really careful about when they make that decision and not to do it too early, because they've done really well here to get through this without too much difficulty, and it would be a real shame for all that to go away again. So there we go. There's our cute little zebra. Okay, and then I've got the Tasteful Labels dies, and I have die cut one of the labels in black. Okay, so I'm going to put him on the back there. Let's decide in a second, and then I'm going to get a scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, which is, where is it? Is it in here? There it is. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to stamp that in black. So I'm going to use my stays on again. There we are. And then I'm going to die cut using a little label die here. So bear with me 1 second whilst I run that through. Here we go, here's our cute little label, and then I've got some of the designer series paper. So these are the little packs that you get of the new in colours. So I'm just going to cut some strips of these. Okay, so we've got Magenta Madness and we've got the Just Jade. So I'm going to just trim the ends. Let's see what sizes I want. Just a little bit longer. You know what? I think I'm not going to bother with the black bit. What do you guys think? With or without the black label? That's with, and that's without. I think maybe without. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we're going to go without. I think that's going to look better. Okay, so I'm going to pop this guy up. Without. Yep. We're all on the same page, guys. I think what would look better, I think what it is that the black is just too big a piece. If I had a smaller circle or something behind, it would look good. Now, I've been a bit of an idiot there, so let's do this properly. So let's do our glue on these bits. There we go. You can just see the comments coming in. It's pretty unanimous. Now I have done it on the wrong side, so let me just wipe that off. I'm going to stick something over. Just stick something over that anyway. So what I've used there, I've got an empty dimensional sheet here, so that's good for wiping off the glue. Okay, and then we'll just pop that on there, and then our little zebra is going to go in here, and then let's pop our, some mini dimensionals, let's pop our sentiment up. Hi Emma, welcome. We're only on our first project, so you're all right. There we go. And then let's add a few sparklies. There we go. And then we're just going to glue this onto the surface. Now, you'll see that this box is shiny. Okay, but when they come flat, and you can make them, I'll put that down, so you can have it with the matte side out or the shiny side out. It's entirely up to you. So if you wanted to, you could just stamp directly on there, but here we go. And again, if you look at that, you know, you could put this on a card base, and what a fun card. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that on top there, and there we have it. Super cute treat box. So it's very easy. Now you could, as I say, you could cut all your pieces to all around the sides and stuff, but you know, that's just a bit too much faffing for my liking. Whereas if you just do a really cool, as long as you've got a white bit in there, just the surface should be fine, and then you know, you could add ribbon, whatever you like to it, whatever you like. Okay, so that's our first project. And I'm going to rearrange here a little bit because I've been very silly and put all my equipment that I need, all my scissors and my glues and everything, I've put them to the left of my workspace, and I'm right-handed, so that's just no good. So let's just move that around a little bit, clear our bits. So that's our first project. Okay. So now let's move on to our next one. So our next one, the card is actually inspired by a birthday card that I received. And I really liked this, so I wanted to replicate it. So let's just put that away. And this kind of reminded me of this stamp set, and particularly this little stamp here. I know it's a lot smaller, but it just kind of reminded me of that. So I want to try and recreate that. I'm going to use a couple of other stamp sets. I'm going to use the Beauty Abounds, I think. Yes, and I'm going to use, this is a new one, this is Gorgeous Posies. Okay, so we'll put those aside for a minute. So what we've got is a Whisper White card base. So we'll just fold and score that. And I'm just keeping the base and the layers really simple so that the colours pop. Okay, so we've just got a black layer. Alrighty, so then we're just going to quickly do a bit of stamping. So let's grab a scrap of white. Just 1 second. There we go. I'm going to stamp this sentiment. Okay, I'm going to stamp that in black. So again, stays on. Okay, I love that image. I think it's just fab. And then I'm going to cut it out using our stitched rectangles dies. So we've got this one here, which matches. So I'm just going to cut that out quickly. See if I can get it lined up straight. Always a bonus. So there you've got that. You've got lovely stitching on the side, which is cool. So we'll pop that there. I mean, even just look at that. That's kind of cute, isn't it? How's that for a simple card? Should we just leave it at that, ladies? So Kat's asking me what my favourite stamp set from the new catalogue so far is. Oh, that's a tough one, Kat. I mean, I'm using this one a lot today because I kind of like it. But when new stuff comes out, I kind of go through phases of playing with them. So I'm afraid I can't pin myself down to it just yet. What about you guys? What's your favourite so far? Right, so while you're doing that, let's just grab some scrap paper. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to need some help here. I need to figure out what Stampin' Up Colors you think we need for this one. Obviously we have our black. That's got some sponge daubers. We might need some blenders. So I think, let's have a look. I think we've got, this looks like mint macaron. This is lemon lime twist for sure. And, hang on. I'm going to break one of my rules. I have lemon lime twist, so I'm going to use it. Okay, we've got that one, and we want some Flirty Flamingo, and then for the orange, let's see. What have we got? I think maybe Calypso Coral might work. Yeah. So we've got Flirty Flamingo, Calypso Coral, Lemon Lime Twist, and Mint Macaron. Yes, I did think Coastal Cabana at first, Cat. That was one of my first choices. So I think I might substitute because the Mint Macaron is not quite as bright as I would like. I think the Coastal Cabana will go better. So let's try it with that and see how we go. Yeah, I knew you guys would be pleased to see Lemon Lime Twist out of the box again. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, so let's start. I'm just going to open all these up. Okay, so I'll just get them up, and then I've got some sponge daubers here. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could use, if you had some, I haven't got my punches with me, and they're what I use to cut some quite small circles. So you could, if you had a circle stencil or something like that, it'd work really, really well to create different sized circles, but we'll improvise. So that's that one, that's that one, that one, and that one. So these aren't exact circles, so I'm just going to dab on here. I hope my ink pad hasn't dried out on me now. Let's see, shall we? So we're just going to create, there we go. So they're not exact circles, so we just start from the center and just work our way out a little bit. So they're pretty random. There we go, so that's lemon lime twist. Now let's do some Flirty Flamingo. Okay, I'll try and do some bigger ones. So you can see I'm not doing exact circles, we're just creating groupings of sort of circly shapes. Got a bit of a gap over here, I'm not sure why. We can fill it in. Okay, let's go back and add some lemon lime twist over here. Nice big one. There we are, and then we'll come in with our grapefruit, or not grapefruit grove. This is Calypso Coral. Yeah, this isn't really as orange as I would have liked, so let me think, what can I do? Let's try pumpkin pie, but I'll have to be really light with it. Okay, let's try this and see. Yeah, that works better. So again, I'm just varying the sizes. Of each of these. Let's do some up here. And we have a smudge of orange there, so I guess I better put a circle there. There we go, and then I think now we just go in and just fill in some gaps. Go, could do some pink in here. And then let's do a bit of lemon lime twist here. This bit. And then just going to do another bit of Coastal Cabana in here. Here we go. Okay, and then down here we need a bit of pink. No, we need a bit of orange. And then a little bit of pink just here. Okay, so I've filled it in a lot more than on my card, but the colours are not a bad match actually. Okay, who's talking about lines and grouping? What's that? Is that trying to get yourself a random effect? Let's close some of this up. Okay. Okay, so then I want to create some of these small black dots, and what I'm going to use is this stamp set here. Now when I first thought of doing this, I was going to use the Beauty Abounds stamp set because obviously it's got the circles on it, but I didn't, and that's simply because it stamps a group of circles all in the same colour, like that, and I love that effect, but that's not quite what I wanted on my card. So what I'm going to do instead is on this image, you've got this little this little square here is kind of separated from the rest. So I'm going to just ink up that little black bit. Each time. Try and get rid of that. Okay, and then I'm just going to stamp it. So let me get a post-it because that is not working. So let me just get a bit of insurance going here. Let's actually mask it off. Okay, there we go. Let's do it properly rather than trying to get a shortcut. Okay, there we go. So I like just adding this little bit of black. I think it just gives a really nice pop to it. And then we've also got, this is the Gorgeous Posies stamp set. And I'm going to use this little image here. There we go. Let's see, I think I need another little black one. Here. There we go. Alrighty, so now what we want to do is grab our dimensionals and pop our sentiment onto our background. And then I'm just going to do wet glue. Now, an alternative to the lemon lime twist would be granny apple green. That would also work. There we go, and then we're just going to glue that onto our card base, like so. And there we have it. Not quite the same, but you can definitely see where I was going with it. And at the moment I'm going crooked, so let's just fix that. There we go, that's better. So there we go, that's our second card. And it says Melon Pombo. Yeah, that would have been good too. Alrighty, so let's clear some of these colours away. Okay. Over here. So, Kat's asked me my top 3. Okay, so I think this has got to be one of my top 3, which is the one I'm using tonight. And then let me show you what my others would be. Let me just grab them out for you. So, I think these would be my other 2. I just love the images in these, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm really looking forward to playing with this one where you've got the layered images. Really looking forward to probably play with that next week. Right up your boulevard, Emma. Well, I'm glad. I aim to please. Right, so there we go. So that's our second card. Right, for our next card, what should we do next? Next, yes, we're going to do some heat embossing. Okay, so we're going to use, whoops, sorry. So now we're going to use this image, which is just fantastic. This is another one of those where it's just, you get this image on and that's your card kind of taken care of, really, to a large extent. So we're just going to use our embossing buddy, always very important first step. And then we're going to ink up with Versamark. This is a big stamp, so I'm just going to make sure I've got good coverage on it, especially in the middle. Yep. Okay, and then going to just like so. Again, give it a good press. Okay. There we have it. And we're going to bring back in our scrap and we're going to use some silver embossing powder for this. So we just chuck it all on. Making sure the whole thing's covered. There we go. Alright, so let's just pop that back first of all. There we go. And then we'll get our heat tool. Alright. Okay, let's see how close we can get it to the table. Should be fine. So, as usual, we just heat our tool a little bit first before we take it to the paper. That always helps. Hi Susan, welcome. Glad you like it. Right, now here we go, Lynn. This is for you. There we are. There's the magic. Do you know what? It never ceases to make me smile. Don't know how often I've heat embossed stuff, but every time that, I know I'm a bit sad I guess, every time that powder melts and you get that shine, just makes me smile. Makes me happy. There we go, and then we'll just emboss it on the back a little, or heat it on the back because it's starting to curl a little. There we go. Alright, okay, now what we've got is we've got a smoky slate base, so we'll just let that set for a moment. Okay, and I'm going to use another one of our new in colours, which is the Just Jade. I love this green. Absolutely gorgeous. And then, yep, in fact I'm going to, no, that's fine. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some watercolouring. Now normally I would say to you not to watercolour on regular Whisper White cardstock. It doesn't really take it very well, but this is a really light wash. So as long as I don't put too much down or go over it too many times, it will be fine. But if I was wanting to work it, then I would put it on watercolour paper. Okay, so we're just going to do our usual thing. Let's squeeze the lid together. Get some ink. There we go. Okay, and then we're just going to... So I've got some water in my aqua painter. There's some new watercolour pens or watercolour brushes in the annual catalogue. And I'm looking forward to starting to play with them because they've got 3 different types of brush. So I'm just diluting it quite a lot because I want quite a light wash. Okay. And then I'm just going to, this is all I'm doing, very lightly adding that wash across the back. Okay, and that's it. I don't want to go over it anymore, otherwise my paper will start to peel. So you can see it's sort of going a little bit funny there. So I'm going to heat it and that should solve that problem. There we go. Can you see that? There we are. And then we'll just... There we go. Okay. Pop that back. Now because you can see this is quite bent out of shape, so I'm going to use my double-sided tape for this. So normally when I watercoloured or heat embossed a piece of cardstock, I do tend to use my double-sided tape to stick it down because then it holds it down flat and you don't get that buckling on your card, which is you don't want. It's very unsightly. Okay. We'll just burnish that. So when you're using double-sided tape, if you rub it first, like burnish it like that, it makes it a lot easier to peel it off, she says, than not being able to peel it off. There we go. Okay, So I'm only peeling it halfway like that because that gives me like a handle to try and position it. There we go. Okay. So then just lay that down like so. Okay, and then it just gives you a little bit of the tiniest bit of wiggle room when you're trying to position your piece of card, okay, because it's not stuck all the way. And then I'll grab our rhinestones and just add a few to here. There we go. Okay, and then we can pop some dimensionals on the back of this one. So let's okay, and then we're just going to pop that down onto our smoky slate base. So I love this because you could tell you could do this in any kind of colours. Very easy, masculine, feminine, whatever you wanted. And I like this because it's kind of neutral. Even though it's got the rhinestones on it, it could work as a male card as well. But again, anything that's got a big image like that, that's it. That's just your birthday card sorted. Dead easy. Okay, so that's our third card. So let's clear that up a little bit. Put the stuff out of the way, and then we've got one more to do. Okay, so last one is using, we're going to still use this, but we're also going to use the right triangle set and the coordinating dies. Now, where have I got the dies? I didn't take the dies out. Where are they? Let me just grab them. They'll be here somewhere. Here we are. They've got the stitched triangles dies. Okay, so you've got your 3 different kinds of triangles. So we're going to use this large one here. Okay, so let's just move that one out of the way and bring in our pieces. So I'm going to use some rich raspberry. Yeah, Susan, super quick. You can't go wrong with a big, bold sentiment. Fantastic for making a super quick card. So that's our rich raspberry. And then we've got our, I think I might not put another layer on there. Let's get some, I think let's use some melon mambo. Yeah, let's just cut a piece of this. Just 1 second. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so then on this piece, I've got my rich raspberry, and we're going to stamp using this large triangle. Now let's see if this will fit on my large ink stamp block. That's the word I'm looking for. No, so I'm just going to quickly grab my Stamparatus, which is here. My card down. So I'm not too pushed about where exactly this stamps on this piece, so I'm not bothering to secure it. Okay, because I'm going to die cut it out, so I'm just going to always brace your plate here with something underneath it when you're inking up. Okay, so now we're just going to ink this up. Some rich raspberry, and again, as always, when you've got a large stamp, just be mindful of making sure that you stamp it or ink it up properly right in the center. So I'm going to line that up just in case I need to stamp it again. So I'm just going to do that. Give it a good press. And there we go. Nice. I'm just going to turn that around. That should work. And then we'll just ink it up again. There we have it. Okay, I'm just going to quickly wipe my plate down so I don't get marks all over my fingers. Ink off there. Okay, and then we've just got our die here that will just cut this out. So I'm just going to run these through quickly. Here we go, so we've got our two pieces, okay? Now what I like is that the die cuts it out right at the edge of the image, if I show you. So sometimes dies cut around the outside of the image, but this one cuts right up to the edge, which is great, so you don't get you just get the pattern for the whole width of the image, which I like. So let's move that out of the way. Okay, and then let's bring back in our pieces. Okay, so now it's a bit of trial and error here while I see. I think they'll fit, but let's see if what I want to do will work with the stamp sets that I want to use. So I want those there, like so. Okay, and then I want, hopefully this will fit in the middle. Yes, it will. Excellent. So I'll ink that up with our rich raspberry. Bring that back in. There we go. Cool. And then I think I'm just going to leave it like that, just to keep it simple. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is grab my adhesive. I'm going to grab my foam adhesive sheets. So this is double-sided foam. Okay. So what I'm going to do is so, and then the same on the side. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scissors, not my good scissors, and just trim the adhesive. Okay, you can see the adhesive is pulling off all the little black strips from the last cutting I did. There you go, so that's one. Two. Okay, and then I'm just going to put the backing back on here. Okay, so it's ready to use another time. Okay, and then we're going to take this back to our, so then we just peel off the backing on the other side. onto our card. There we go. There we have it. Okay, so you can see there the effect that you get. And then we're just going to glue this. So it's like just having a ton of dimensionals, but it's really solid then, it won't buckle, so, which is good. And then we'll just lay that on there. Okay, and then we're going to pop that on there. And then I'm going to grab another piece, just 1 second. Where is it? Okay, bring back in my Stamparatus. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure this is straight. Oop. Let me just let go of my card. We'll make this a lot easier. There we go. There we have it. Okay, and then we're just going to glue that on the inside. There we go, and then I think, have a look. What have I got? Looking for my rhinestones. There they are. And then I think we're just going to put like so. Oops. And there we go. So again, great potential for masculine cards, particularly with that stripe. I think you'll have great fun with it. And again, so these are the foam adhesive sheets. So I wouldn't use them for all, I'd really only use them for big bits like this where I want to adhere an entire panel. Okay, so there we are. Let's just bring back in, that's it for tonight. Let's bring back in our cards. And then you guys have your usual job of deciding which of the 3 projects is your favourite. So while you do that, let me just remind you, as I say, to share the video if you haven't done so already. And I will enter anyone who shares the video into a draw next week for one of my little paper packs. So that's about a dozen card front size sheets of random designer series paper ready to go on your card fronts. Also to let you know that the paper share is now fully subscribed, so thank you very much. I shall be cutting and packing this weekend, so they should be going out a little bit earlier than planned. And we still have spaces on the monthly stamp club. So I'll post a link to that for any of you who are interested. It's a great way to build your supplies over time. It runs for 5 months. You commit to spending £30, a minimum of £30 each month. And then on one of the months you'll earn yourself at least £15 of free credit to spend in the catalogue on what you wish. And each month for everybody who's in the club, I will do an exclusive video tutorial just for you guys. So I'll post the link. We have to sign up by the 30th of June, which is next week. So let's have a look. Yes, Jack. Yes, and they are all quite different cards. But as I say, I'm really enjoying this particular stamp set. You can just see how versatile it is in terms of, and I love this because I'm always late. I'm always late with my birthday cards because I've got to make them. So that's it for this evening, guys. Just wait for your comments, see what you guys think. And I would love to hear in the comments what your top 3 stamp sets from the new catalogue are. I know Kat asked me, but it'd be lovely to hear what you guys think. Let's see. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for that, ladies. It's been lovely being back again, and I hope to be back again as normal. Normal service will be resumed next week. I'll see you all then. Thanks very much. Good night.